Hi, it's Debbie Evran here from Fire Creative TV, and today I want to talk about brand values and why brand values are really important part of creating your sort of brand strategy. And one of the reasons why it's really important because your brand values will be a really important part of not just the sort of the vision of the business in terms of where it's going, but then also actually form part of the sort of foundation really of how the business is going to be built from the sort of ground up. So, your values can have an impact on things like the kind of standards that you set in your business. So things around like, what kind of, I suppose, level that you want to play at, and also your values then obviously can have an impact then on formulating the sort of your client avatar. When you know your brand values and you're clear on those brand values, they will also help you sort of work out what kind of sort of client customers that you want to sort of either not just market to, but obviously attract to the business. And the other reason why they're really important is actually that your brand values can also have an impact on the colors that you use for your branding. So, for example, if you go on the internet and you look at color psychology, there are lots of different colors that relate to different types of sort of values and energies. So, like for example, the word trust is synonymous with things like the color blue, and then you've got other colors that are sort of more sort of creative in energy, like orange. So when you really think about your brand values, you can actually use those brand values to think about the right colors for your business and your brand, and actually it can really make a difference in terms of, like you say, attracting the right or wrong customers to your business. So I would normally sort of break brand values into sort of two categories. You've got your core brand values, which, like I said, they form the sort of real foundation of the business in terms of standards, in terms of who you are and what you stand for. And then doing a brand campaign that's specifically for a specific product and service, and part of that you would maybe have a couple of extra keywords or values that you think that are important to this specific project. This is an example that we did for engineering company. Talk about it. They had built their business to a certain level, but in order to sort of go to the next stage and the next level up, a lot of the competitors in that market had invested in design and obviously were very clear about their values and the kind of customers. So before we did any kind of creative work, we really took a bit of time to look at the brand values of the business and the words. Obviously, as you can see, there's a real mix of different words. Now, some of them are sort of about the business, words like strength, prestige. There was a real mix of words that were not only words that were important to the business from a core perspective, but also product specific keywords as well. The other area that I'm seeing an increase in is companies looking to really make their business a little bit more purpose driven. And a lot of businesses at the moment are, I think, reviewing their standards because I know I was watching a video, I think it was actually with a guy from the CEO of a venture capital company who was doing a talk at New York Stock Exchange, and he said something like it's like a 700% increase in companies wanting to be more purpose driven. So that's quite interesting. If you are looking to sort of add some kind of social responsibility to your business, then a really good resource for that is the UN Global Goals. I think they were brought out in 2015, and I think there's about 10 or 12 goals which look at the very different areas in the economy and different areas in the world that they see as being really important to sort of focusing on and improving. So I know myself, I've had a look at them, picked out a couple of things that I know that are really integral and important to me, not just personally, but as a business owner. Another really good resource is actually on a platform called Genius U. It's an entrepreneur network, but on there you can go on there, sign up to join the network, and there's a series of little micro degrees basically that you can do. One of them is talking about getting in flow and really finding your values and your purpose of your business. So basically I'll put all the links underneath of any of the resources that I've mentioned. So yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed the tips that I've shared today, and obviously please give me the thumbs up or subscribe, and if you get a chance, please check me out at firecreative-uk.com. So I will hopefully see you next week. Speak to you soon. Bye.